Hello friends, it's your old pal JJ, and it is time for yet another viewer mail unboxing video. You people continue to send me mail faster than I can make videos about it, so time's a wasting, let's get cracking. My first piece of mail comes to me from my friend from Massachusetts. He says, "Hello JJ, my name is Michael and I'm from the city of Lowell, Massachusetts." Lowell? He says that Lowell has made vast improvements from starting off in the 80s as a crack city riddled with drugs, and now it is an art city where you can find several art galleries. And here we have some lovely postcards of Lowell, Massachusetts. We have the Boot Cotton Mills Museum Weave Room from the Lowell National Historic Park, Merrimack Canal, and the Swamp Locks Gatehouse. And then he has sent me this promotional t-shirt, which he says comes from his father's art/music/restaurant, which is called Uncharted. Get it? Uncharted with art in the middle. This city is special to me because it has made so much improvement as I've grown and has made so many changes. This place only started off as a mill town where people would work for dirt pay to being a prosperous town. I think that is pretty cool when a small town sort of reinvents itself, as it seems Lowell, Massachusetts has. I apologize if I am routinely pronouncing this name wrong. Thank you very much, Michael, for your cool souvenirs from your city, gone from crack town to art town. All right, let's look at this one now. This one comes from my friend from Ohio. Is this my first bit of Ohio mail? I cannot recall. Okay, we have the explanation letter, very clearly labeled. It says, read first, so okay. Dear JJ, I hope you enjoy this package from Cleveland, Ohio. Oh snap, the most exciting city in Ohio, I have been told. So, what do we have here? This is from my friend Lisha, by the way. It's either Lisha or Lisha. I'll say Lisha. So, Lisha has sent me a couple of cool things, including this Bertman Ballpark Mustard. This is Cleveland's famous Bertman Ballpark Mustard, a company started by Joe Bertman, a Polish immigrant to Cleveland. It is used in League Park Municipal Stadium, I assume on the hot dogs. Best mustard on the planet, according to Rachel Ray, apparently. And why would we doubt her? My friend says that she's only ever had it at the baseball stadium, never owned her own bottle, so I'm very grateful that I do. And then she has also sent me this book by a guy called Mike Polk Jr., which is called Damn Right I'm From Cleveland. Your Guide to Making It in America's 47th Biggest City. So this looks to be a sort of somewhat snarky and sarcastic and in-joke filled guide to Ohio's favorite city. Oh, is this the guy? This is the guy that made the infamous Cleveland tourism video? Yes. So a few years ago, I made a couple of shorts called the Hastily Made Cleveland Tourism Videos, and I put them up on YouTube. Clevelanders dug them and passed them around, and apparently other people did so as well because they each have around 5 million views, and since there are only about 800 people still living in Cleveland, this would indicate that some outsiders must have also watched them. Have you guys seen these? These are very, very funny videos. I'll just post a little clip of it right now.
Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Come and look at both of our buildings. Buy some food that's prepared near the street. Who knows, you might even see this guy.
So that's very cool to have a book by the infamous Cleveland YouTube video guy. The rest of the souvenirs are in this charming little envelope that has a handsome picture of me on it. So we have a sticker here. It says, Cleveland, a very affordable, decent place to live. She says that this is a good artifact that sort of sums up all of the many mediocrity jokes that tend to define Cleveland. She gives me a list of some other YouTube clips I can watch to see some other jokes about the mediocrity of Cleveland. And then we have this other sticker, Cleveland Industry. It's this sort of elaborate illustration depicting Cleveland as a city of endless smokestacks and factories. She talks about how this sticker is kind of the opposite extreme of the first sticker. This sticker portrays the height of industry in Cleveland. Industry is Cleveland's claim to fame and a center for industrialization in America, especially iron. Cleveland also had a great chemical industry and automotive industry, although we have majorly gone downhill since then. She actually has a little note at the end saying that she's worried that she sort of is casting her city in too negative a light, so don't worry about that. I'm sure it's great. She gives me these 2 little pins from the Great Lakes Brewing Company, the first microbrewery in the state. She says that this pin depicts something called the Mistake on the Lake, and I should look that up. So sure, fine, I'll do that. Urban Dictionary. Mistake by the Lake. The rightfully given nickname to the city of Cleveland, Ohio, because the city is truly one of the biggest mistakes in the world. Not only has Cleveland managed to set a river on fire, but they also haven't won a sports championship since 1948. Jeez Louise, people are pretty mean to Cleveland. And lastly, she has also given me a pin of the Cleveland Guardian. Larger than life Art Deco statues on the Loren Carnegie Bridge, imagined a century ago when Cleveland was the 5th largest city in America. So that's pretty cool. I always like little artifacts commemorating pieces of city infrastructure that are like instantly iconic and recognizable to anybody who's from there, even though it may be a little bit more obscure to folks who are not from there, but of course that is the point of these sorts of things, isn't it? So thank you very much, my friend. What an exciting trip to Cleveland it has been. Alrighty, now we have a box here, which comes to me from my friend from Pennsylvania. I really need to make a tally at some point and see just how many states I've received mail from, because we've got to be getting close to the 50-state mark. I know the drill at this point. You always go for the letter. So this is a letter from my friend Anderson. Hey JJ, I enjoy watching your videos. My favorite video was the one about your money collection. You have inspired me to start my own currency collection, which includes over 30 different countries. Wow, that's impressive. He has actually sent me part of his collection, I see. A 500 Escudos. That's how I think he says that I pronounce it. This is whatever the currency of Portugal was before they joined the euro. His family is from Portugal, so he sent me this Portuguese bill. That's very cool. Thank you, sir. He has also sent me a popular soda from Portugal called Sumol. Sumol. Orange Sumol. That sounds pretty good. I like soda. It is indeed very sweet. So Anderson lives in the Philadelphia area. He is 9 years old, and he has included some local snacks for me. He has sent me some Peeps, the iconic American marshmallow candy. He says that Peeps are made in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That's pretty cool. I did not know about the origin of Peeps. And then he has sent me some Utz potato chips. I think that's how you say it, U-T-Z, Utz. He says that these are made in Hanover, Pennsylvania. This is his favorite flavor, sour cream and onion. And then we have some Wawa iced tea. This is a convenience store based in Wawa, Pennsylvania that is experiencing rapid growth throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. They aren't your basic 7-Eleven. They make a lot of their own products, including this iced tea. Well, that is very cool. I think I received some mail from another Pennsylvanian who was also singing the praises of Wawa some time ago. Oh man, that is even sweeter than the Portuguese soda. Oh yeah, and I gotta try one of these chips as well. Anderson says he wants to see me try all of the foods in the video. The package claims that this is their most popular seasoned chip. It's very good. Sticking my hand into this bag of delicious chips, I feel as happy as this little cartoon girl on the package. I can see why they offer a unconditional money-back guarantee, because I'm sure no one would ever return such delicious chips. So thank you very much, Anderson. Very cool stuff. Very cool to know that I have a viewer as young as 9 years old who is as savvy as you are. Good luck with your money collection. All right, and now we have a parcel from my friend Michael from Greenwich in beautiful upstate New York. I am sending you some things from when my grandmother and grandfather did their honeymoon in Alberta and British Columbia in the 1950s. Wow. Unfortunately, on the 15th of December of 2018, my grandmother passed away. We were clearing out her house and we found these Canadian guides and maps and thought you might enjoy them. Oh man, that's so awesome, Michael. Thank you so much. This is totally the kind of stuff I'd go for. Wow, look at this. Look at all this stuff he sent me. This is awesome. All right. Oh boy, look at this. The British Columbia Tourist Accommodations Directory from 1958. Good Lord. From the British Columbia Travel Bureau. Oh my God, this is amazing. Look at this, it's got all this information on British Columbia as circa 1958. Man, this is so ancient, I want to treat it with reverence. Comprehensive guide to all of the hippest hotspots of British Columbia in the late 1950s. Man, I wonder if any of these places still exist. We have all these hotels and attractions. Oh, I just saw Cultus Lake Park. I used to go to Cultus Lake Park when I was young, so clearly some of these things are still standing. You must hurry up to get there in time for the celebration of British Columbia's centennial in 1958 as well. We have a little guide to the Trans-Canada Highway, which I guess would have recently been finished. Oh no, it hasn't even been finished yet. When completed, it will provide North American motorists with one of the finest scenic touring routes in the world. Starts in St. John's in Newfoundland and ends in Victoria in British Columbia. Oh, this is great. So it has a summary of all of the different provinces that the Trans-Canadian Highway goes through. And then there's Quebec, I see, only gets a single sentence, and it says, the province of Quebec has not entered into the federal provincial Trans-Canadian Highway Agreement. We have a guide to Calgary, the friendly city of the foothills. Various guide to the racetracks of Ontario. There's a postcard of the Vancouver waterfront. This is incredible. This is like almost unrecognizable from the waterfront today. A little brochure about Niagara Falls, guide to Ontario's best motels, a map of Saskatchewan. Wow, there's just a ton of stuff. I'm gonna have a lot of fun looking through all of this stuff. That's really cool, Michael. It means a lot to me that you would share some of your grandmother's belongings with me after her passing. That's very cool, and I feel, you know, very honored that you would include me in that. Okie dokie. So, all right, so here is a box from my friend Michael. Geez, a lot of Michaels today. From New Jersey. Hey JJ, I hope you enjoy this package. My area is known as Asbury Park, New Jersey, a small coastal city in the northernmost part of the region known as the Jersey Shore. Despite what MTV may lead you to believe about the area, the stereotypical Guido population is rather low. In reality, it is a community full of rich history, skilled artisans and craftspeople, and a vibrant local economy. Ooh, and he tells me that President James Garfield was assassinated at the train station there. All right, so let us see what we've got here. Oh ho! Wow, look at this. This is pretty impressive. He has given me an autographed pop figure of Kevin Smith. That is really awesome. So he says that Kevin Smith is a local celebrity who grew up in the nearby Red Bank area. His comic book store, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, is based in Red Bank and is the primary filming location for AMC's Comic Book Men. Various Kevin Smith related memorabilia, like this figure, is sold at the stash, and he is another figure that many people claim to have had encounters with in the area. So that is very cool. That's quite the souvenir. But of course, no native of the area is more famous than Mr. Bruce Springsteen, which Michael says was inspired by a popular postcard for the area. Bruce Springsteen still lives nearby, and many people claim to have had encounters with him as well. Almost everybody has a story about running into him somewhere, somehow. You can't go to any restaurant or store without hearing his music in the background. That's very cool. Cool shirt. Huh? All the boomers will love me now. So he's also sent me this very cool Asbury Park banner, which I quite like. Take a hike, British Columbia banner. Asbury Park is where it's at now. Very nice. And he has sent me an actual postcard of the design that inspired the Asbury Park album cover. He says you will see this artwork on all sorts of tourist souvenirs. Then we've got other postcards as well. He says the Stone Pony is to the Jersey Shore what CBGB was to New York City. Many legendary bands and artists performed here. And then we have the casino, which he says is mostly empty and in disrepair. The convention hall, and then we have a picture of what looks to be a broken down amusement park called Palace Amusements. He says that when the building was slated to be torn down, the community banded together to save the original. Since then, the character of Tilly, whose face you can see on the building here, has become an icon of the region, and modern reproductions of him are found on sides of buildings, on various merchandise, and more. He may be creepy looking to some, but he has a special place in our hearts. And Michael has sent me a nice woodblock print of the character in question, who I think we can all agree is not creepy at all. This is very awesome. Tilly is the name of the character. That is really very cool. Love this stuff. We'll give old Robotnik a rest, I think, and we'll put up Tilly instead. Then we have this magnet with a bird silhouette on it. Michael says that this is the logo for a local coffee chain called Rook Coffee. It is a modern symbol of our area due to it being one of the most successful local businesses. Everyone and their mother has this magnet on their bumper, and it's something that people in our area sport with a lot of local pride. Well, that's very cool. Rook, one of the lesser known birds. And then lastly, we have this giant package of Saltwater taffy, a true Jersey Shore candy. It is kind of remarkable that almost every city in America, I feel, tends to claim Saltwater taffy as their own. I wonder where it actually came from. But I love it. It's one of my favorite snacks. Although it does seem like the Asbury Park Saltwater taffy is somewhat distinctive. Look at how the candies are sort of in a long, sort of cylindrical sort of shape instead of your standard glob shape. Well, I'm going to be chewing on this for a while, but thank you so much, Michael. That is really a very awesome...
Approximately 10 hours later.
So thank you very much, Michael. That was really a very awesome haul. Those are some really, really cool things. Asbury Park sounds like it is certainly per capita one of the most sort of culturally rich, or at least influential cities in America. All right, now let's do this next parcel. All right, this parcel comes from my friend Jane, I think is how you say it, or possibly Jenny, Janne. Always sensitive about people's names. I have been given a package of candies from Finland, a bag of traditional sweets by Phaser, Finland's most iconic candy maker. This mix has been around since 1935, making it a true classic. That is pretty cool. Weird Finnish candy, hard to say no to that. Oh, it's just kind of a... Look, they have little cylindrical things just like the Asbury Park Saltwater taffy. So these look like they're mostly hard candies. It's kind of hard to tell what the different flavors are because they're all just sort of these random colors and have some confusing weird writing on them. Not English, I don't understand. But anyway, these are very cool. I will put them in my candy dish in my living room when I become an old man, because it seems like this is the sort of candy that is well suited to that purpose. But yeah, thank you very much for sending this to me. It's very cool to get sweets from around the world. All right, we have another little parcel here. This one comes from my friend Brian from Indiana. Says, JJ, enjoy watching you on YouTube and reading you in the Washington Post. This is the flag of Indianapolis, Indiana. Not much, but I like the graphic. Well, let's be the judge of that. This is pretty cool. Let's see. So we got like a big cross with a star in the center. As far as city flags go, I would say this is a pretty hip one, actually. A lot of city flags are actually quite lame, so the fact that this one has such a distinctive and iconic and well-designed design, I think really puts it in a league of its own. So thank you very much for that, Brian. You guys know how much I like flags, and I like learning about new flags, so another fine entry for the old flag collection. This is a relatively high-quality flag, too. It's not just a cheap polyester one. Not that there's anything wrong with cheap polyester flags. All right, and now the last parcel of the evening comes to me from my friend from Illinois. This charming Garfield card. It says, "You're the greatest." The card says, "Thanks from your friend Emilio." So Emilio is from Chicago and has sent me a number of cool Chicago things, including this authorized toque from the Chicago Cubs, everybody's favorite Chicago sports franchise. He's also got me this little Chicago flag. Chicago, much like Indianapolis, has a very iconic and well-designed city flag. I will put it in the pot with the others. There we go. And he has also sent me this scarf featuring the Chicago flag as well. So that is very cool. Oh wait, before I put on the Chicago scarf, I failed to note the 2 t-shirts that he has sent me as well. The Chicago Blackhawks, of course, and the Chicago Police, which is not a sports team, but the actual police. So that's very cool as well. Sorry, Asbury Park, but it is Chicago time now. And then we have these charming Chicago-based magnets. The first one features the Chicago bean, that iconic metallic sculpture they have in the middle of the city square. And then we have this one, which just says, "Chicago is better than New York." So, Second City Syndrome, what? Man, Emilio is like the most patriotic Chicago man who ever lived. Oh, and then we've got a lovely Chicago mug as well. So are you happy, Emilio? I have completely sold out to your wonderful city. I've actually never been to Chicago. I would really like to go. My mother went to Chicago many years ago and she still won't stop talking about it, so clearly it must have some things going for it. And I, of course, can learn all about Chicago from this fine book that Emilio has also sent me, called Chronicles of Old Chicago, Exploring the History and Lore of the Windy City. Oh, this is a pretty hip book. Can learn about things like the Black Sox scandal, the shocking story that nearly destroyed baseball, Bug House Square, where people tried to change the world from atop a soapbox, Mayor Daley the First, the last of the big city bosses. Very, very cool. Chicago, city very rich in history. See, they're taking credit for Abraham Lincoln as well. Awesome, awesome stuff though. That's very cool. Thank you so much, Emilio. Very generous assortment of gifts you sent me here. I will have to return the favor by showing up someday. So, everybody, thank you so much once again for all of your fantastic mail. You guys really go above and beyond in the thoughtfulness of the sort of objects that you assemble for me. Really, it's like going on a little mini tour of your communities through the unboxing rituals. Just so many wonderful objects that you've curated into these wonderful little packages. You know, you got the food and you have like little magnets and, you know, clothing and flags and all of this other kind of stuff. You guys are really the best YouTube audience a guy could ask for. If you want to send me some stuff from your community, just drop me a line at this email address here and I will send you my mailing address. As I said, the mail is really coming fast and furious these days, so I'm going to probably have to start making a lot more mail unboxing videos in order to prevent the pile from completely taking over my house. So stay tuned and I will see you all very soon.
Here's the place where there used to be industry. This train is carrying jobs out of Cleveland. Cleveland leads the nation in drifters. Here's a